Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Man, of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you live right after the game. Of course, I'm pretty sure many of you all saw what just unfolded in Madison Square Garden between the Los Angeles Lakers and the New York Knicks. And of course, the Lakers finally prevail and win their first game on this road trip that started off promising. And of course, we know the Lakers were on the second night of a back-to-back, and many people were disappointed that LeBron James and Anthony Davis did not play on yesterday. But I think today was a good gauge of what the Los Angeles Lakers will be able to do going forward. It was nice to see Rui Hachimura inserted in the starting lineup. I think that he is going to be a great addition to the Lakers as far as being a wing defender, and had a pretty big game today. And we're going to talk about that more in just a moment as we get more into the X's and O's on what transpired, because, man, it was a crazy game. And I really had some things to say regarding the Lakers in that fourth quarter and how it went into overtime, because I think a lot of that could have been unnecessary. Like, the Lakers really should have been able to avoid overtime and should have been able to close that out in regulation. It was good to see that they did actually pull out the victory, because the Lakers have been on sort of on such a short end of the stick as far as oh man, I got Celtics on the title, man. That's crazy. My bad. I need to fix that then. I really don't know if I can fix it live. So if anybody join in, hey, y'all see we talking about the Knicks. I have to fix it later. My bad. Like I said, still getting new to it. But at the end of the day, Lakers Knicks, it was a great game. LeBron James, of course, with the triple dub, 28 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists. He was 11 out of 25. Only shot 44% tonight, 2 out of 8 from three-point land. And I will say, on some of those three-pointers, I was upset with LeBron towards the end, and I know, it could be the sore foot of him not wanting to put his head down and get to the basket like he should have been doing. But at the end of the day, he elected to take 2 threes. So you would think, I think it was a minute and 40 seconds left, LeBron James came down and he hit a three-pointer that put the Lakers up by 6 with like a minute and 40 left. And you like, hey, this is it. But, Jalen Brunson would not be denied. He continued to work his way into the paint and get basket after basket. So he came down, he hit a shot. And then, of course, LeBron James let the Knicks off the hook, in my opinion, because when he came back down, he took another, I won't say ill-advised 3. He was open, so, you got to take those. And I understand you had to lead by 4 at this point, so you might think, okay, if I don't make this, we still got time. We can play good defense. But he misses the 3. Of course, the Knicks come back. They converted the other end, cut it to 2. And then, lo and behold, the Lakers get down into the shot clock again. Look, if you got a Russell Westbrook on the floor, you have LeBron James on the floor, and you have Anthony Davis on the floor, then you have players that are capable of getting to the rim. And, I mean, in those situations, in crunch time, for the Lakers to settle for 3 on 2 possessions in a row, a long 3 at the top of the key by LeBron James, to me was unacceptable. And I think Darvin Ham needs to let them know, listen, set the pick and roll, whether it's with Westbrook and AD or whether it was with LeBron and AD, and let's get some motion. And let's get something going towards the basket. I mean, it's not that difficult to do. So, they kind of did that in overtime, which we'll talk about in just a second. But, LeBron James taking those two threes in a row, I think, is what really allowed New York to tie the game up and force the overtime. So then, with 4 seconds left in regulation, now you choose to go ahead and do the pick and roll with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. And, of course, Jalen Brunson, Johnny on the spot again, already been playing a magnificent game. Jalen Brunson had already been doing very well throughout the game. And, of course, I want to say he took at least 3 charges that game. And, I mean, he was taking it right in the chops. He took it in the chops, I think, once from LeBron James. They didn't even look at it as a flagrant. And I don't think it would have been upheld anyway, because it was offensive play, and LeBron James was going up with the ball, and he was just in the right place at the right time to take the charge. And LeBron James going up with the ball hit Brunson in the face and busted him in the chops. So, at the end of regulation, that was the same thing as LeBron James, worked the high pick and roll, turned to Anthony Davis, 4.5 seconds left. And, of course, Anthony Davis called with the charge. To me, I think it was a bad move for Darvin Ham to actually challenge that, because it was pretty clear cut that it was offensive foul, and I think you only gave the Knicks time to actually it added actually more than a half a second back to the clock. It went from like 3.6 to 4.5 seconds, so you gave them an additional amount of time to be able to come up with a play. But thankfully, on the last play of the game, Brunson, they went to Julius Randle for whatever reason, even though Brunson was the hot man, he was the inbounder. I think Julius Randle should have kicked it right back out to them, forced the defense had to play on him because he had been making floaters, jumpers, pull up, mid range, long shots, but at the end of the day, I mean, Brunson, he had 37 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists. He was only 13 out of 29 for 44%. So the Lakers were able to keep him under 44%. You can credit a lot of that good defense to Russell Westbrook, who surprisingly was playing some good defense tonight, as well as Dennis Schroeder, who always puts 90-foot of pressure on point guards, which in turn leads to poor possessions because it's not giving them a lot of times to get into their possessions and run plays. So, but at the end of the day, they left Jalen Brunson with time left on the clock, but thank God they went to Julius Randle, and LeBron James had the wherewithal to understand to stay on Julius Randle because of the time. He knows Julius Randle isn't the type player who's capable. I mean, he can make a kick-out play to Brunson, but at that time he had already seemed like he made up his mind that he was going to go to the basket against Anthony Davis. And, of course, LeBron James comes up and blocks the shot and comes back over to help Anthony Davis with the good closeout to send the game into overtime. Oh yeah, what's good with you, MP? Yes, fam. That was a good game, a good close game, and like I was just saying, that's good for the Lakers to be able to win a close game because it seems like too many times this season the Lakers have been in close games and not able to finish it off. So one thing I do want to point out though, in that overtime, LeBron James did defer to Russell Westbrook on a couple of those possessions. And I will say, Dennis Schroeder hit a big three in overtime. I don't know if you all remember that, but, time was running out on the shot clock. They was able to swing the ball around. Dennis Schroeder from the corner hit a big three. I think at the time put them up by 5, so it was a really big basket. The first play that came out of OT was a drawed up design play with LeBron on the back door on a pin down, which he was able to get the first 2 points. And whenever you get the first 2 points of overtime, then it always leads to momentum usually. So if you can get the first 2 points, which they did, that led to momentum. But then of course, like I said, I noticed on the next couple of possessions, it was Russell Westbrook driving to the basket, penetrating, drawing the defense to himself, and making nice wraparound passes or either drop-off passes to Anthony Davis for easy buckets on 2 of those possessions. So that really put the Lakers up. And then, of course, we had a great defensive play by Rui Hachimura. When I first saw it live, I said, man, that's not a goaltending. He caught that at the apex. I saw it when it went up. And to me, I don't know if you all know this, but, in the Euro League, there is no such thing as goaltending. Stop the ball from going in. That's the name of the game. It's good defense. So why reward somebody with points if they didn't get it in if I'm able to jump up and stop it? I wish the NBA would actually get rid of goaltending. Yeah, my bad, Cripples. Yeah, my title is wrong. I typed in Knicks, y'all. I don't know what the world happened. It is what it is. I don't know if I can fix that right here at this very moment. But, at the end of the day, like I said, Hachimura, that was a good defensive play. He was able to, that really was a momentum changer because had they got those points, I think it would have cut it to 3, and the Knicks probably could have played good defense and kept it close. But of course, they did not. And of course, Hachimura himself, he was 19-9-0. No assists, but 19 points, 9 rebounds. He's doing the job that he was brought over to do, and it's good because he's only in his second or third game, and he's already gelling with other players. So with all that being said, 8 out of 12, 66%. He was a +4 on the floor. Now, one thing I did notice in the game that I feel like Coach Ham needs to work on is the way he's staggering the minutes. With LeBron James and Anthony Davis, because on the LeBron James and Anthony Davis minutes, I think in the second quarter, I think AD played the entire first quarter, if I'm not mistaken, and then came out and started the second quarter, which made no sense. I know he had some kind of break in between, and then, LeBron got his break at the end of the first, so when he came in the second, he played with AD and LeBron, which that was good, but by that time, when you had to bring him out, you bring them out together, and you leave Russell Westbrook on the floor with a bunch of role players, which to me is not the best thing. So when you have a player like an Anthony Davis and a LeBron James, you always want to at least keep one of them on the floor at all times. It's good to keep them both in the game at the same time as most as possible in crunch time and at the beginning of the game, but throughout the game in the second and third quarter, you need to be able to stagger them and keep one of your superstars on the floor at all times. That's kind of like how Steve Kerr always did when he had KD. Either he had Steph on the floor at all times or KD on the floor at all times. That's what the Bulls used to do even with Jordan and Pippen. A lot of the great teams, you even see that with Kyrie and KD now when he comes back. So you see a lot of teams staggering their superstars. And by Darvin Ham not doing that, you notice, I want to say it was, at the 6-minute mark of the second quarter, they didn't stagger AD and LeBron. So 6-minute mark of the second quarter, you were without AD and you're without LeBron. You was up by 6. And then by the 4-minute mark, you was down by 6. So just like that, you went from being up by 6 to being down by 6. That's like a 12-point turnaround right there within itself. And that 12-point turnaround, they had to throw LeBron James right back in with the 4-minute mark left in the second. So, it went from 6 minutes down to 4 minutes. Of course, they turned it back around. And, of course, Dennis Schroeder with the crazy three-pointer at the end. He just kind of heated up. I think somebody tipped it, just to be honest. I don't know. But for it to go in, that was amazing because the Lakers need every one of those points because, think about it, they went to overtime. So had Dennis Schroeder not made that three at the end of the half-court heave, then we wouldn't even be sitting here talking about a Lakers victory right now. Playmaking Russ is good. I wish he could take better care of the ball, though. Man, me and you both, brother. I'm telling you, me and you both. I mean, to me, I keep telling everybody, keep Russell Westbrook because Russell Westbrook, he basically knows how to get, he can get up and down the court so quickly. He can put so much pressure on the defense, and he can get others involved. And that's the main thing. If he can just cut down on the turnovers, he's going to do his job perfectly because I dare to ask any of you, what other team in the NBA has a 6-man who can come in and do the things that Russell Westbrook is doing? So if Dennis Schroeder can handle the position of point guard and run the offense, and you got to think, there was no Pat Bev tonight, and everybody want to knock Pat Bev, but Pat Bev in the last 20 games been shooting 38% from three. He's been playing good defense, and I guarantee that Jalen Brunson wouldn't have dropped, 37 points. Jalen Brunson wouldn't have dropped 37 points with Pat Bev out there because we call him Bulldog Bev for a reason. He has his flaws, but it was because of him that the Lakers was in position to win that Celtics game the other night with his big 3 points, So, yeah. Let's see. Do I think Wayne is a DNP when AD is back? I like him and he deserves minutes. I think Wayne and Gabriel deserve minutes too. I think it needs to be more in a reserve role. And I think these minutes, because you got to get, at the end of the day, Anthony Davis is your superstar. LeBron James is your superstar. These are the two players that you have to say are going to be able to take you to victories and bring you home and make you get that playoff run. So Wayne and Gabriel, he has to be pushed to the bench, unfortunately, because, I will just say this. Wayne and Gabriel is great, but because of the position he in, he can play some 4, he can play some 5. He's a little undersized to play 5, so in certain positions, he's not going to be able to do so. Just depending on who the opposition is for center, he could be too small. But one thing I will say for Wayne and Gabriel, as a backup center, he plays defense, I would say, as a rim protector, even though he's a lot smaller, a lot better than Thomas Bryant. Now, Thomas Bryant, I think, plays a lot better offense and gets a lot of putbacks and dominates the boards on the offensive glass. But I wish they just could find a perfect mixture of both of them because Thomas Bryant is a lot of times too slow on his feet. When the guards get the pick and roll and the guards make up their mind that they're going around the screen and they get downhill, it's just too late for Thomas Bryant to react. And oftentimes he gives other players and ones, which leads to baskets and easy baskets for the opposition. So what's that? Pat Bev is a big difference maker. We need to make them clean the glass better. Absolutely, they definitely do. That one possession where the Lakers gave up 4 offensive rebounds that allowed the Knicks to continue to stretch the possession and continue to stretch out the possession was ridiculous. Missed the 3, got a rebound. Missed the 3, got a rebound. Missed the pull-up, got a rebound. Missed the 3. And then LeBron James said, no, I'll be taking this. So LeBron said, give me that rebound. He snatched it up. Of course, they fouled him. The Knicks were in the penalty. LeBron James unfortunately made 1 or 2 right after that. He couldn't convert on both. And then, of course, they miss. LeBron James comes back down, hits the three. Then he put the look on his face like it was over with. And I don't know if that riled the Knicks up, but up by 6 with a minute and a half, I thought it was over with. I was all ready to go live and just start talking that ish already. But hey, Jalen Brunson was not to be denied. But I do want to put that fault on LeBron James. See, everybody you know, I can find fault in everybody. It's called constructive criticism. I'm not biased in saying, man, nobody is beyond reproach. Because if you think nobody is beyond reproach, then you got something wrong with you in life. Because I'm telling you like this, LeBron James, to me, he the GOAT. I mean, it's going to be pretty tough to change my mind just because his overall body of work, what he's capable of doing. We saw tonight, he moved into 4th place all time in assists, right behind CP3. Now imagine if he catch Kid. I don't give a damn about longevity. It's been other players. KG played 20 years. Vince Carter played 20 years. Kobe played 20 years. Kareem, all these people played 20 years. But they're not doing it at the level of what LeBron James is doing it in year 20. A lot of these people hobbled to the finish line. It made me sad to see Kobe. It made me sad to see Kareem. It made me sad to see Vince Carter at old age just still hanging on. And Vince Carter was a little bit different because he was coaching up the young players. He was going from team to team, coaching them up. He wasn't really trying to break records, even though, if I'm not mistaken, Vince Carter is top 20 all time in scoring. I could be wrong. I know he's top 25. But at the end of the day, is anybody saying longevity records? Man, listen, you being great for that long, you averaged 25 a game for 20 years. 25 a game for 20 years, that's unprecedented. The closest person to him that done it is Jordan. And that's at 12 years. So think about it. That's 8 years longer of doing that. Regardless if you retired and came back and retired and came back, at the end of the day, he didn't do it for the Wizards. And those was 2 years at the same age as LeBron. So at the end of the day, LeBron James, like I said, is what he's doing is unprecedented. It's unprecedented and it's very, very impressive. But I do want to give shouts out to Russell Westbrook, who, I think played good down the stretch. And for a moment, you saw a lineup of Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, Troy Brown, and Anthony Davis without the likes of a Dennis Schroeder. But when you approached overtime, Ham elected to put in Dennis Schroeder along with Russell Westbrook, Hachimura, LeBron James, and AD. And I thought that was a pretty good lineup because you have Russell Westbrook who can create, who can put pressure on the defense, who can play pick and roll with Anthony Davis. Then he can play pick and roll with LeBron James. Then LeBron James can be a ball handler playing pick and roll with Anthony Davis. Then LeBron James can be playing as the 4 spot with Westbrook playing in the 1 spot, playing pick and roll. So you have a lot of different options. Then when weak side help, you have Schroeder who can spread the floor. You have Hachimura who can spread the floor. Then you have 2 good defenders in there in Hachimura and that of Anthony Davis. And Anthony Davis is only going to keep getting better. Yep. You're right. After he retires, that's when they're going to stop hating on him because really that's when the aura starts, y'all. I'm just going to go ahead and be real with you. I don't know. And I can give you a lot of examples like Beethoven, Vincent van Gogh, Mozart. Like a lot of these great composers, all these people, they never were appreciated while they was alive. They art, for lesser words, was boo-boo. People said the Starry Night, man, it's trash. All right, look at man, this is not good. But when you die, then they move on. Not saying after LeBron died, but maybe after he retired. But you do find a greater appreciation for that because there used to be players who I didn't like a whole lot, and then when they retired and you look back and look at their body of work, you can't do nothing but respect it, man. You cannot do anything but respect it. And once LeBron James is done and said and done in the next few years and let him start releasing his documentaries and you see what he's done to come up, man, not even know who his pops is, living in a car with his mama. Imagine being in the 7th grade and not even knowing where your next meal coming from and you live in a car with your mama who been on dope. Now, come on. This is a story, y'all. The man could have went and played football. Oh, he's soft. He couldn't have played in the 80s. The man was a wide receiver in high school, taking licks across the middle. Was going to play for Florida, the Gators, Florida State, Alabama. All the big schools was asking for him. All the big schools wanted him to be a wide receiver. He going over the middle getting popped in football, and y'all talking about he couldn't have took fouls in the 80s. He would have been given that punishment. LeBron James actually started to lose weight after Miami because he wanted, he saw the weight, what it could do on people's knees and ankles, and he could see that, and he says, you know what? let me lose some of this weight so I can prolong my career, so I can be. And at first I was like, dang, why LeBron James looking so little? Because I don't know if y'all go back and look at some of the film when he really got booked and he was powerhousing people down in the post. But what he's doing right now is amazing, because what he's done is just really changed so much of his game to be able to hit the fadeaway now. Had a mid range. He didn't always had a mid range, so he just constantly improved, even on the 3-point shot. And I know this hasn't been his year for three. And I'm telling you all, that sore foot, everybody want to say, oh, he's sitting out the back to back. Man, dude been having a sore foot since the beginning of the season. He been having a sore foot since the beginning of the season. Then he hurt his ankle and he paying through the pain. But, at the end of the day, I keep telling y'all the Lakers are not out of this. The Lakers are going to be a team. As long as Anthony Davis can stay healthy, the Lakers are going to be a threat, because when you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis on the floor at the same time, then you're going to have trouble. And Russell Westbrook's continue to figure it out. And Russ, I forgot he did make two big plays to Anthony Davis in the fourth with a nice wraparound pass. It's causing AD to get fouled. Another drop-off pass and a wraparound pass that let AD get easy points in the paint. But at one point, correct me if I'm wrong, Russell Westbrook pulled up and hit one of them bank shots where he think he Timmy D. Sometimes them bank shots be having me scared. I don't know what the world Westbrook be doing. He shoot it too high, but when he got the confidence going. And Westbrook hit a big 3-2 at the top of the key when they kicked it out to him with no hesitation. So I think Westbrook did hit, 1 out of 4 for 3. He was a -5 on the floor tonight, but being a -5 on the floor is not too bad, because a lot of the times, like I said, he was not out there with Anthony Davis and he was not out there with LeBron James. So he was out there with a lot of the role players trying to get things accomplished. And I think he did just that. Shouts out to Troy Brown. He hit a big 3 as well. I think late in the fourth, Troy Brown, he was a -9 overall, but he showed up when it was necessary for him to hit big shots. But overall, Anthony Davis, got to give shouts out to him, had 27 points, 27 quiet as kept points, 27 quiet as kept points for Anthony Davis. 9 out of 16, 56% was a +16. So let's peep game. LeBron James was a +22. Anthony Davis was a +16. So when you're talking about having LeBron James and Anthony Davis on the floor at the same time, then you talking about, I don't know if y'all remember this song, and somebody help me. I'm old, so y'all probably don't know. Y'all go YouTube some of these songs, but it used to be some rap group, I don't know who it was, but they had here comes trouble. So they was coming for you, you know what I'm saying? And it's about to be some trouble, because they about to put some people on notice in this Western Conference. The Lakers done beat the Nuggets. The Lakers done beat Milwaukee Bucks. The Lakers was right there with the Celtics in both games and got cheated out of one of them, as we all know. And that's with Anthony Davis not even getting back and getting comfortable and getting in game shape just yet. So like I said, shouts out to Hachimura, 19-9. He was a +4 on the floor. He shot 66%, 8 out of 12. That's what the Lakers been missing. Now, I don't know if y'all know, but Lonnie Walker might only get 8 or 9 minutes tonight. I know he's still working his way back into game shape. But now, with the addition of Hachimura, I really think that Lonnie Walker minutes are going to dwindle down. He was being very, very not wishy-washy, but streaky. He had games he hit 6 threes, then he'd go 5 games with no threes. Then he'd come back, hit 5 threes, then he'd go 2 games with 1 3. So, we need somebody who can be consistent. We know Austin Reeves will be getting reevaluated on Thursday. When he comes back, then that's going to be another shooter for the Lakers' second unit. So I think when the Lakers have a second unit, they can have a second unit with Thomas Bryant, Russell Westbrook, even Hachimura at times, even Wayne and Gabriel when he can come in and get those minutes, because like my guy said earlier, Wayne and Gabriel, I think was a vital piece for the Lakers as far as being scrappy. I used to call him Mr. Cleanup Man, Mr. Johnny on the spot, because he always there. He always fighting for a rebound. He's never giving up anything easy. Now, LeBron James, we doing the countdown. Can somebody tell me how many points LeBron James need? I think he started tonight. I think it's in single digits now of what he needs to pass cap in order to get the most points of all time. And when he does, we're going to have a special show dedicated to LeBron James. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a live stream where I want anybody to come in on here and tell me why you think LeBron James is or is not the GOAT, and I will rebuke it if you think so, if you think not, and we could talk about it, because it's up for debate. I keep telling everybody it's closer than a lot of people think, but I think he's continuing to separate himself, because what he's doing right now is totally unprecedented. You cannot see somebody continue to play at this level. Now, if Anthony Davis hadn't been hurt the past 2 years, then who knows what would have happened. Then LeBron James probably would have 5 rings if, Golden State in that very first finals against Golden State. We all know Kevin Love was hurt in the Eastern Conference Finals and did not play, and we know Kyrie Irving shattered his knee in Game 1 in that overtime. And the Lakers were still up 2-1 with the next best player for LeBron James being Matthew Dellavedova. So that ought to let you know something. But Max Christie only had 12 minutes tonight. He was a +2. Max Christie hit 2 out of 3 from threes. He's capable of spreading the floor. As a rookie, he's someone you could put in when you just never know, because somebody might be having a bad game. It's going to be times where you have an off night. And they said, no, put him out there, because Max Christie plays excellent defense. He stayed glued to the hip of anybody who he's guarding. And speaking of defense, shouts out to LeBron James and Anthony Davis tonight for doing a dual job and being a great container of Julius Randle. Julius Randle tonight was only 6 out of 19, 31% from the floor for Julius Randle, 2 out of 9 from 3 for Julius Randle, 22% from 3 for Julius Randle. You understand what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, Julius Randle was shut down. The Lakers are going to go. They're going to beat the Pacers. We know this. There's no more trap game for the Lakers, y'all. AD back. All the haters can just quit crying. Anthony Davis is back. The Lakers are going to jail. The Lakers are going to beat the Pacers. The Lakers are going to beat the Pelicans. The Lakers are going to go home and beat OKC for this 3-game win streak. The Lakers are going to be, by the time the All-Star break rolls around, the Lakers are going to be at 500. The Lakers are going to be right there in the 6th seed. They're going to be protected from the play-in game. A lot of haters going to cry. I know Devin Booker coming back. I know Luka came back. I know what they're trying to do. I know Golden State trying to make a push. The West is tight, y'all. The West is tight. Think about all the games the Lakers gave away, and then they started out an atrocious, 2-10? Was it 2-10? Now look up and look at them. And then Anthony Davis missed, 21 games? And they still able to stay afloat because of LeBron James. What we got here? You to go be, man, appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, appreciate that. Be new up in this thing. What we got here? The fact that Jordan Marcus 10-21, what'd he say? The fact that Jordan was way more fortunate the way the league was in the squad compared to how unfortunate LeBron when it came to injuries, weak coaches, weak organizations. Hey, these is what we call circumstances, you all. And people that have actual brains, they know about circumstances, and they know that when you have circumstances and variables, that's going to make things different. We all know what happened to Jordan in the 80s. When he had the competition, when he went up against the Celtics, they got smacked. Bird swept him 2 years in a row. He was getting to the playoffs with the sub-500 record in his first 2 years. And they want to say, LeBron James missed the playoffs. Jordan got in there with winning 32 games in one season. And that got you in the playoffs. Oh, the East was so strong. You got in the playoffs winning 32 games. Come on, fam. And then Michael Jordan got smacked around for the Pistons by the next 3 years. You got to realize the Pistons had already went to war with 76ers. Pistons already went to war with the Celtics. The Pistons already went to war, and the Celtics went to war with the 76ers almost every year. People think, man, I wish I can go back and see Dr. J and Larry Bird, some of them games, 83, 84, those Eastern Conference Finals. I'm going to do one show about that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the intensity of those games. And that was when Dr. J was old, man. I got Dr. J ranked in my top 10, by the way. Dr. J, who don't get enough respect. Shouts out to Dr. J, who don't get enough respect. We know what he did at Rucker Park. We know what he did for the coming from the ABA, from the Squires. But we won't get into all of that, what he did for the Philadelphia 76ers. But point is, Pistons, they went, 7-game series with the Celtics, lost Eastern Conference Finals. Celtics lose finals to the Lakers. Next year, 7-game series with the Pistons, Eastern Conference Finals, win, go to the finals with the Lakers, lose in 7 games. Year after that, go to the finals against the Lakers, sweep Magic Johnson and the Lakers. Then the following year, beat Portland. In all these years while taking care of the Bulls. So by the time the Bulls did beat them, Isaiah had the wrist injury, he had the ankle injury, he had a lot of things going on. No excuses for them. But at this point, you're talking about a hell of a run. A lot of teams, they just don't make it. You see, they get their fatigue, man. It's not just physical, it's mental. And that's why for LeBron James to go to 8 finals in a row? Eight, eight finals in a row. And what was the common denominator? LeBron James went to Miami, 4 finals. Went to Cleveland. Did Kyrie Irving go to a finals before LeBron James? Has he been to a final since LeBron James? Has Kevin Love went to a finals before LeBron James? Has he went to a final since LeBron James? LeBron James comes out to the Lakers, and let's not forget, even with their young squad, when they had Brandon Ingram, and they had Lonzo Ball, and they had Kyle Kuzma, the last time LeBron James was facing KD on Christmas Day with the Lakers was up by 35 with the young squad against the KD Golden State Warriors until LeBron James went down with a groin injury. I hate that happened because had that not happened, the Lakers was in the 3rd or 4th seed. At that time, it was only getting better, and them young boys was gelling. They might wouldn't even trade it for AD because B.I. would have been that next kind of like AD player because he kind of like that Kevin Durant type player. And truth be told, they made a mistake. They should have kept B.I. and got rid of Kuz. But they made that mistake, and it was a little bit of a money thing, but it wasn't that much of an issue. Should have really kept B.I., but they didn't. But you're right. Every time AD moved, I twitch too. I be like, man, what is he going to do? Mackenzie Young, they won't respect Bron for the legend, the GOAT that he is until he retire. Yeah, I don't know if y'all saw the NBA TV the other night, the game that the Lakers played without AD and LeBron against the Nets, and they had a poll out, and 57% of the people on the poll said LeBron James is already GOAT. A lot of people. Then you got people all on Facebook, Twitter, and social media saying, well, only LeBron James fans is watching. So only LeBron James fans watching basketball? So these must be intelligent fans. So all these other people who non-fans is what you call haters. See, this type is what makes a hater. Yeah, that what makes a hater because these people wake up out of bed sometimes, don't even brush their teeth, got morning breath, man, breath just stinking and just come straight out of, get right on, get to typing. Oh, LeBron James, oh, Michael Jordan did that, but man, just chill, baby. Just chill. Like, why you so worried about it? You hate the man so much. What'd he do to you? Did he steal your girl? I'm trying to figure out, is it because he got $1 billion? Only player that ever played during his tenure while playing and hit a cool $1 billion? You mad because he won't share none? I'm trying to figure it out, man. What are you mad about? Oh, it's his fans. Why? Because his fans understand greatness? Y'all saw tonight. 4th all-time in assists. 4th all-time in assists. About to be 1st all-time in points. Top 10 in three-pointers made. You understand me? Come on. Gonna be a 20-time all-star. What you mean? How many times first team? How many times all NBA? Come on now. These records are gonna be broken unprecedentedly because he's gonna do the same thing. And I promise you, last year when he made 3rd team all NBA, that was a travesty. LeBron James he missed some games or whatnot, but think about it. He could have led the league in scoring if he played the last couple of games, but he chose not to because the Lakers had got mathematically eliminated because AD couldn't hold up his end of the bargain when LeBron James was hurt. But they don't talk about that, though. They don't talk about the 27, 28-year-old AD not holding up his end of the bargain. They didn't talk about that. They talk about when LeBron, they expect him to, that's how you know the man to go because he got to continue to, he continues to get compared and expected to do this and do that. What was Michael Jordan really expected to do? I knew when I saw MJ come back for the Wizards. I watched it. I was there live watching it. And that made me sad, actually, because I was like, bro, you should have just hung it up, But I'm going to point this out, too. Y'all want to say this and that, but we know MJ retired the first time. I'm not going to speak on that. We all know the unfortunate thing that happened with his pops. But the second time, in 98, you won 3 in a row. Why not defend your championship? Why retire to come back? Because they was getting rid of Phil, and you didn't want to play without him. They was going to get rid of Scotty, and you didn't want to play without him because Jordan knows it takes you got to get a team. You got to mesh them together. This team had meshed. They know one another. You come in with new players, it's an unknown. Jordan feared the unknown. Let me say it again for you. Jordan feared the unknown. LeBron James embraces it. LeBron James takes coaches who never been to finals. LeBron James gives rings to coaches who never had ring. He got Vogel a ring, fam. Do Vogel got a job? Is he even an assistant coach? Somebody let me know. Is the Vogel assistant coach? How are you the GOAT with 6 finals losses? The last time I checked, finals losses is not an individual accomplishment. You talking about greatest of all time. You're not talking about greatest team of all time. Michael Jordan was on some of the greatest teams of all time. So you mean to tell me if you put LeBron James in the exact same situation as Michael Jordan with Paxson, with Kerr. Now let's think about it now. How many different times did Jordan have two role players hit series clinching 3-point shots for the victory against Phoenix in 92 and then again Curry in 97? Hit two series clinching shots. Let's not forget how Pippen saved Jordan when they was down 2-0 against the Knicks in the Garden. Let's not forget these things. So you talking about a GOAT, you're talking about a team accomplishment. So you mean, like I just said, variables. You expect LeBron James to win a finals against Golden State without Kyrie, without Kevin Love? So if Steph Curry would have lost Draymond Green, if Steph Curry would have lost Draymond Green and lost Klay Thompson in that series, do they win against LeBron James and a fully healthy cast with Kyrie and Kevin Love? They would have got swept. They would have got swept. Stop the blood clot crying. Stop it. Because it makes no sense. Jordan never had a 2011 meltdown. You say it's a meltdown, but you had a whole team. And you can go back and you can ask Mark Cuban. And you can ask the head coach. I call him Jim Carrey because that's what he looked like to me. And you can ask them the whole defensive scheme was dedicated to stopping one man. They forced the ball out of LeBron James' hands. The role players did not step up. And you say, oh, D-Wade averaged more. He should have averaged a lot more because that's who he had to defer to because of the smart schematics by the Dallas Mavericks. Now, if you put Jordan in that same spot, guess what? That's what they did. But what happened? Like I just said, Paxson, three-pointer, game. Because Charles Barkley was a dog in that series. While Jordan got two Hall of Famers going against one. You talking about a solo performance. But this is a team sport. You understand what I'm telling you. So you talking about Jordan. Who brought the ball up court? He gave it immediately to Pippen. Pippen came in, and Pippen got it down. And when Pippen kicked it down to Horace Grant, they came with the double on Horace. Horace kicked it back out to who? Action Paxson. And Paxson, cool as ice water. And you talking about hit that three, clinch the series. It wouldn't have been that. It would have been a Game 7 in Phoenix. Nobody knows what would have happened. But how many times LeBron James kick it over to Danny Green? Clank, clank. How many times LeBron James make the right play, kick it over to Kyle Korver? Clank, clank. Because they couldn't handle the pressure. They couldn't handle it. Maybe LeBron James should have started punching him in the face like Jordan was. Maybe that's why they was hitting the shots, because they were scared Jordan going to bust them in the jaw again. Bust their chops, So, I don't know what we got here. Jordan was playing for the now. He had nothing left to prove, but he didn't know about the kid from Akron coming behind. Exactly. But I won't say he wasn't playing for nothing. If you go back, and I can bring up some articles for you all, Jordan really thought that he was going to have an opportunity to make a run. They didn't make the playoffs, and I know he had to get his knee drained, and he was, going through injuries. But what did Stackhouse say? Stackhouse was a perennial player at the time. Stackhouse was on the level of a Marbury, y'all. So y'all youngsters who might not know, Stackhouse was hooping. That was enough. Should have built up Kwame Brown, but you didn't. You tore him down. They could have made a run. He wanted to do it. Don't say he didn't just come back for fun. He said, East look weak. Come on now. Who just came up from a finals? The Knicks with Patrick Ewing on them bad knees and couldn't even beat the Spurs in the lockout season. So now he looking around like, okay, let me take some advantage of this. At the end of the day, whether it was him missing the game or whatever, he came back. He should have stayed out, because to me, he diminished his legacy. And that's why they trying to come back right now and trying to have a documentary for his Wizard years. I guarantee they're going to make it plush, make it seem like this and make it seem like that to try to rewrite history. And that's why they came and named all the MVP, whatever, after Michael Jordan this year, because, you know what, he was a yes man. We know what he did for the congressman at NC. We all know about it. LeBron James don't go for that, and maybe that's why he hated. But it be our own ones, you understand me, that'll do the same very thing to LeBron James when the only thing this man has ever done was the right thing on and off the court. And we got people talking about excuses. Jordan would never lose to that Mavs team. Okay, so you probably the same person who put Kobe on the level of Jordan. You probably the same person who say, Kobe just as good as Jordan, they the GOAT. LeBron can never compare. Did Kobe Bryant and the defending champion Lakers with Pau Gasol, Lamar Odom, Ron Artest, Kobe Bryant, these are first team all NBA defenders and a killer in that of Black Mamba. They got swept by the Mavs, fam. They got swept by the Mavs. Did you know that? They got swept by the Mavs. Who else? Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. They lost to that team in that playoff run 4-1. Jordan would have never lost to that team like he doing it all on his own. Who's going to guard Dirk? Tell me, Mr. The dude who just tell me that. Who was going to guard Dirk for the Bulls? Rodman? He going to foul him up? This is a team where Dirk can step back and give you anything you want. Step back three. Rodman can't do nothing with that. He can bully down in the paint with Karl Malone. He can't do nothing with that finesse game, fam. What they was going to do? Be serious. Be serious. That Mavs team was on a mission that year. And let's not forget, Dirk Nowitzki did have a free throw parade to the foul line. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that. And you know, okay, if LeBron James, even if you want to say he didn't have the best moments in that Mavs series, let's take a look and see some of Jordan's lowest moments. Because he was pulled up by the bootstraps a few times. And you talking about adding 6 teams. You added 6 teams during his tenure in the expansion era. And you talking about competition. Come on now. Every time he played, 3 Hall of Famers. Jordan, Rodman, Pippen. Now you talking about this is a team where Jordan would have never scored, they did this and that. These games, people was barely scoring 85 points a game because it was a defensive-driven league. And then he playing with the best defenders in the league, including himself. He was a good defender. He was a great defender. But you talking about a Scottie Pippen and a Dennis Rodman. You talking about a Horace Grant. And then not only that, you got all the role players around you who could hit threes. Let me ask y'all, who has the highest percentage of three-pointers of all time? Is it Steve Kerr? Wasn't he in them threes for Jordan? Was he? Was Paxson in them threes for Jordan? Was Craig Hodges winning three-point contests? Did he play for Jordan? Oh, was B.J. Armstrong hitting threes in the corner all day long? So was they constantly having three-point shooters on their team with first team all defensive players? Was didn't Larry Bird say that Scottie Pippen was the second best player in the league with Michael Jordan? Didn't Larry Bird say that? Larry Legend said that. And then he said, take Michael Jordan off. It took away from some of what Scottie could do because he does set them up and they complement each other nicely. Bird still said Pippen was the 5th best player in the league at that point. So come on now. Y'all act like Jordan wasn't running with the best squad each time he was teaming up against the other team. The two teams actually that I really respect that he beat really was the 2 times against Utah. And to me, Jordan played especially that last game. He got the steal on the last play. He hit the shot. It was a push-off. If that would have been LeBron James, they would have called a push. His hand is on his ass. He pushed him off. I don't care what he say. He pushed him off. He pushed off. He created separation. He hit the shot, though. So it is what it is. Nobody mad about it, man. But all y'all can keep saying it's 6-0 in the finals. It ain't golf. It ain't golf. Is basketball played by yourself? Who play basketball by themselves? And I heard one-on-one, y'all better go look up what Ron Artest said. It was a kid from Akron in high school. They destroyed the tapes who was taking on NBA players, including y'all. Ran with them on the squad, too. Y'all better go look it up if you think I'm lying. Google it. Google it. Go to YouTube and Google it. Google it. Ron Artest said it himself. LeBron James was putting in work on grown NBA players when he was 16. You mean? If you mean. Y'all better go ask somebody. He said Kobe is the only player who could beat him one-on-one. I mean, he could say that all day, but Google something else. Y'all know who else beat Michael Jordan? A regular civilian. Y'all didn't know that, do you? That's on YouTube. Go YouTube that. A regular civilian. He played college ball, but he had long retired. Ain't never been in the league. Him and Michael Jordan, he challenged Michael Jordan to a one-on-one. This in tape, and you can see Michael Jordan was finna cry. Because I'm playing around with it. Man, I don't care. You got beat one-on-one by a civilian. Now, you mean to tell me LeBron James, 6'10", 6'9", with all the weight and athleticism, how's Jordan going to guard him? Jordan got all these first-team all-defenses. Back then, you couldn't even deny two-way players. Like, you had illegal defenses where you couldn't even deny, two people couldn't deny the ball at one time. You had to play straight up man-to-man. You couldn't play zones. And you telling me Michael Jordan, who did he have to defend every night? Hornacek? Who was he defending night in and night out? The NBA right now is so much more talented from top to bottom with players who can handle the ball, who can play off the dribble. Back then, everybody couldn't play off the dribble. You had spot-up shooters. You had people who could play the post. Had maybe one ball handler. That's why Grant Hill was so successful. That's why those type players. Now, there were good players, don't get me wrong, in the 90s, but maybe only one or two on every team. Dennis Rodman even said it. Look it up. Dennis Rodman said, the league is so watered down now. The league is so watered down now, I can sit up here and do what? We could beat anybody in front of us. He said it himself. Dr. J said it was watered down. Larry Bird said it was watered down. Jerry Sloan of the Utah Jazz said it was watered down. He said you used to have 4 fire superstars to win a ship. Now you can do it with 2. And yeah, I said ship. I don't say chip. That's stupid. Ain't no championship. It's a championship. It's a ship. Yeah, I said it. So what? Kobe demanded a trade, and all of a sudden he turned exactly. So Kobe, a lot of people don't realize that he did demand that trade. He was going to go to Chi-Town. He was going to leave and do his own thing. And I'm not going to lie, because at the time, being an avid Memphis Grizzlies fan, being from the 10C, you already know I was ride or die with my Grizzlies, and I still am to this day with my Memphis Grizzlies. But at the end of the day, I'm going to tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. The day they announced the trade that Pau Gasol was going to the Lakers, I promise y'all, I said the Lakers are winning the championship, and they did. That's how good Pau Gasol was. Pau Gasol was leading Memphis Grizzlies to the playoffs, a team that had never even sniffed the playoffs the whole time that they had been around, even as the Vancouver Grizzlies, and he was taking them to the playoffs. He was a perennial all-star. He was very, very capable defender in the post. This was when the game was still played inside out before Curry helped revitalize the game. And speaking of revitalizing the game and everybody starting to shoot threes now, I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm going to make a whole nother show. Y'all think Curry is the one who really started stretching the floor and shooting all the threes, but I got data that says otherwise. There's another team that really started stretching the floor first and bringing their center out and had their center shooting threes before Golden State. Y'all know who it was? Miami Heat, Chris Bosh. And if you look at the analytics and you look at the statistics leading up into that, they're the team that really started that, and then teams start to bite that because Chris Bosh was starting at the 4 spot. If you remember, even in the Dallas series, and they had, who was that trash center they had? And that was another thing. Spoelstra got out coached that series. You go back and look, when Chris Bosh moved to the 5, that stretched the floor, that gave LeBron James room to operate in the paint to get to the hole. Chris Bosh could now hit threes that brought the center out of the paint on defense. It revitalized the game. So, exactly, shooting guard position was thin during that time. You talking about they added 6 teams. They added the Hornets. They added the Heat. They added the Grizzlies. They added the Raptors. They added the Magic. You know what I'm saying? If you added 6 teams right now in the next 10 years, would the league be watered down? It's going to happen. You have to validate and get good talent at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, what they say, Kobe not even top 3 by the majority of people. I wouldn't necessarily say that. I got Kobe top 5 just because Kobe brought it on the defensive end of the floor. Kobe played in a very tough era. Kobe went up against the same San Antonio teams. And granted, he had Shaq, but I'm telling you, San Antonio, man, people don't give the San Antonio dynasty enough credit. They had already won championships. They was putting teams out like the Lakers, Detroit. I mean, the San Antonio squad was great. Ginobili, Hall of Famer. Tony Parker, Hall of Famer to me. Timmy Duncan, we already know. So LeBron James, think about it. When he went up against San Antonio in the finals as a 21, 22-year-old, this San Antonio Spurs team had already won 2 finals and been in 3 finals against Detroit. So, this was nothing new. When every team except for the Lakers, when Jordan played the Portland Trail Blazers, had they ever won a championship? And it wasn't nobody but Clyde Drexler. Who? He's sorry. Who? He's sorry. Don't get me started because I'll make the video again with my orange shirt. What I'm saying is, they sat up here and went Clyde the Glide Drexler with Kevin Duckworth. Kevin Duckworth. Jerome Kersey. What's the other dude name who had them damn goggles? Man, I know his name. I just can't think of it right now. That's who they going against. That's the competition. He should have won. He should have won. Who was they beating? Even that Dallas team, you got to think, man, that Dallas team was hooping so good. They was in battles every year. That Western Conference throughout the early 2000s to 2010 and 11 was so deep. That Utah team, I mean, that damn it, y'all know what I'm talking about. That Dallas team was good. OKC, that team was excellent. You just had a lot of great teams out west that was really performing well during this time. The San Antonio team, you talking about battles in the playoffs. You talking about real battles. I would say in the early 2000s, maybe, when you had Stevie franchise for the Rockets and some other teams, the league was still a little bit more watered down, and then it started to get a little bit better and better as we got into the 2010s. And now, to me, from top to bottom, and that's why people say LeBron James not top 5. When Jordan retired, who did he pass the torch to? Somebody tell me right now, when Jordan retired, who did he pass the torch to? Kobe wasn't quite ready yet. It was Shaq. Shaq was dominating. They was pretty much letting Shaq do what he wanted to in the paint. A lot of things, to be honest, Shaq was one of the most dominant centers ever. But to be honest, he say what he'll do in today's game. In today's game, a lot of the shit Shaq doing now would be an offensive foul because he was coming in. Wham! I'm talking about, go back and look at the finals, man. Mutombo had so much ice on him wrapped up in his body, taking elbows from Shaq every time. And all he could do was wham, 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 points. Wham, wham, points. Remind me of the Flintstones. Bam, bam, points. You understand what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, I'm going to have to tell y'all, I done got on the tangent between LeBron James and Michael Jordan. That ain't even what the show was about. And I know my thing say Celtics, and that's my bad. I'm about to fix that. I'm going to come back to y'all in the morning with a true post game. But like I said, we're going to continue to live stream after every game. Y'all keep joining me. I love to answer anybody's questions. So I'm about to sign off. Like I said, right on to the real. Much love to the haters. I got the shirts. I got the hoodies. Check out my store. That's what we saying. We putting, and I'm about to have these GOAT James. About to have these GOAT James hoodies on there too. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? So everybody jump on that too. Kobe could score from anyone on the floor and was a lockdown defender, great passer. You damn right he was. They didn't call him the Black Mama for nothing. Kobe Bryant was great. Great. Excellent defender. Excellent defender. Heart and tenacity. Competitive. Really wanted to win. It really ate at him if he didn't. First one in the gym, last one out the gym, was a gym rat. Man, really worked on his craft. I hate that his body broke down in his later years. Just a truly, truly, truly sad story for Kobe Bean Bryant. And on that note, I want to sign off, man. Rest in heaven, rest in love to Kobe. Oh, and that's dope. Before I do go, though, I don't know if y'all noticed this, and I'll bring it up on tomorrow's show, too, but Hachimura, the number that he got, is because of Kobe daughter number and because of Kobe number. That's why he wear 28, number 2, and number 8 is a tribute to me that's going to mess around and make him a lifetime Laker. And to me, that's going to make him come out and give it to you. And once that chemistry start going, I'm telling y'all, when the Lakers get in the playoffs, tell me who going to beat them. We'll talk about it later. But like I said, man, much love to everybody. Right on.